Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This is going to be something a little different for me, a little out of the norm. I'm going to be altering a book. I've never done this before, so it's exciting for me, and maybe you'll want to come and join me as I do this. So I had this beautiful book that I got from a craft store, and it gives lots of tips, ideas for lettering, even some practice. Hand lettering. So it's got lots of beautiful pages, spaces to doodle some of your own letters, and I love this book. And I keep it for ideas and inspiration. But just the other day, somebody gifted me exactly the same book. So I'm like, oh well, I could gift it to somebody else. But then when I thought of who to gift it to, I wasn't sure who, because I thought somebody else that is also creative probably has something like this, or either she doesn't need it because she already knows everything about lettering. Anyway, so I had this bright idea of, actually I'm going to alter this book. I'm going to keep both versions, keep one just as it is so I can keep it for inspiration, go back to it whenever I want, do a little bit of the practice, writing. Anyway, sometimes I just love keeping books for that, and I don't touch them. I just look at the beautiful pictures. And you might know by now how much I enjoy crafting. So I decided to craft over the book. And because it's rings, there's plenty of space to add to it. So here we go. I added some things so that I could make this as a journal. You know, me and journals, me and writing. I will show you the few pages that I've done so far, and then we can do one or two or a few together. So here's the first page. If you want, I can even show you how it looked at first. So here was a little introduction to the book, and I didn't need that. So instead I covered it. Some old paper, some note paper, a little sticker. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you exactly everything I've done because you might get the idea as we do it together. But I'll just show you the difference. The next page, the next spread. Lots of text on this side, also more text here. But I loved the frame of pictures, so I kept that. As you'll see, I just covered the text with some paper and then doodles. And on this side, I also covered the text. It actually looks quite nice. And I added some doodles and even some stickers. Anyway, this is one idea of a way that you can personalize and alter a book to fit it for your particular need. And I wanted a journal. I can never have too many journals, too many places to write. I just love pretty pages to write my favorite quotes, to write things in the moment, what I'm feeling, what I'm learning, and then go back to these over and over again. So here is a little bit of lettering practice. So instead I covered this with a note paper and black paper and little stickers. So I'm not totally finished because I love adding little doodles. So here I would just continue making the little doodle box. And if I want, I just add a few leaves. That's kind of like my little go-to fill-in. And here, same, I'm going to add just some lines. I love any way that I can add my own little personal touch to it, make it more mine in some way, and definitely adding a little bit of art, even if it's just a few lines. And then I put some stickers because on the real page was more text. Anyway, the next one has a whole page of lettering practice, which I love, but since I'm doing this one as a journal, I covered it with some other paper that I can just write over. So here, my doodle again. This is kind of a country look, or farmhouse look. I also like to use white on black or brown paper when it decides to work, if it works. Sometimes I'll do double lines. Not sure how much you can see on the video, if it comes out clear enough. So on this page, as you can see, I've covered quite a few things because again, there was writing here and some other pictures, and I wanted to kind of add more to it, not just one box, just to fill it out a bit. Here I'm going to add the lines. So there's not always doodling that is needed. Here maybe just to fill it up a little bit. I like showing that the little fox is out in nature. And here we can add as well. I'll try to match the doodles on both sides of the page, usually. And even the colors, I try to find something that matches on both sides. So I have this paper twice, and I bring in the brown on both sides. Here I'm going to maybe add the white border. All right, so this just gives you a little idea. I'm not going to do the whole flip through yet. I'll skip the ones that I've done so far, and maybe we can make 1 or 2 pages together. So this one I haven't touched yet. This has little quotes, and I love this, and I think I'm going to leave it like that because I have place to doodle underneath, whether it's continuing the quote or writing something related to it or writing it somehow in my own words. It's more journaling. Now this one is a cute little clock, and I'm going to keep that. I love it. But here, since there's some text, I'm going to cover that. So first, I try to see what colors are on my page. So I'll see if I have something to match. It's kind of greenish. This is a bit more blue. If I don't have the right paper, I'll stick something else. There's also a little bit of brown, so I could use that. Anyway, I have my box of papers and scraps, which you can see here. So that's what I'm going back to if you hear this shuffling noise. So taking the brown from here, I'm going to match the shape, the size of this box. I'm really not doing it perfectly. I'm not even measuring a straight line with the ruler. That's what's wonderful about crafting. It can be a rip, it can be a crooked line. And then I'm going to redo these little stickers so that they show on top. Since there's a lot of black on this page, I might even make them in black, as if it were little pieces of tape. Instead, I'm ripping little pieces like that. I think that's cute. And if I wanted to, I could always include other things on the page. I like old text like this too. And I might also add a little piece here to bring the brown down here again. So here I'm going to trace the clock shape. So we'll see how it goes. I really go by inspiration here. I have nothing planned at all. And that's what I love about these, and that's what makes it so relaxing. I'm not doing this for anyone else. I'm just doing it for the pleasure of it. And I start gluing it down quite quickly because if I think too much about it, if I analyze it too much, try to perfect it too much, I end up changing it and I end up taking way longer than I need to. This is just for plain enjoyment. I don't need to think it through too much. And I just have fun as I go. Well, the yellow sticks out a little bit, but that's okay. And And I also have my little tray of stickers. So I'll go through my stickers and see if there's anything that could fit the page, whether it's the style or the color schemes. Actually, that's mainly it. Style, color, themes, or even the theme of the page. So this has some quotes. I do have some browns here and a clock. So if there's anything related to that. I like this little thing that brings some of the black and some of the brown. Let's see, where could it fit nicely? Even here. And a little stamp. From this page, we got this page. And now it's a beautiful page ready to fill with some favorite quotes, gratitudes, and anything else you want to journal about. Let me think about what doodles I could do. Maybe I'll bring black here. And by doing this, I'm kind of hiding the fact of the yellow there. Totally embracing it, making it look like a shadow instead. Here I'm going to do an outer outline, just for variety. And I can also add another line, add in some white here. Actually, I do like the white part here, which makes me actually want to add some white leaves to this part. It's a little less bold than the black. Even here, not sure how well you can see it. Little circles. Just some little decors like that actually adds to the fun. All right, I think that's good for this page. All right, here is a beautiful page with a quote, and I do like the quote, do what you love what you do. Except there's not gonna be much room to journal, so I'm gonna try and see how I could cover this. I'm up for the challenge. I'm challenging myself here because the easy thing would be just to keep it as is. I'm going to get my notebook paper. Let's see if it would fit. So there are some lines in the background, but I don't mind having a different type of line. So I'm going to take my pencil and just draw a vague shape. So if I make it a circle, trying to see what things I may have to cut out. So I like these leaves underneath. I don't know if you can see them in the video. And these leaves here. So I would cut these out so they can still show in the picture. What's good is this page is a little bit see-through. And now I'm going to just cut the circle out. I have all those messy, sketchy lines, so I'll probably erase that. And here I'm going to cut out space for the leaves. It's okay if it's not perfect. It's always better to cut too small, and then you can always cut a bit more after. And then I'm going to erase all those sketchy edges. So this might be a fun activity to do with your kids too. Or to do with a friend. You don't have any specific thing to do, but you have lots of books that you don't know what to do with, so you can actually alter your books and make them into journals. All right, so I'm going to glue right away. This is really my playtime. This is my type of play. If you want to come play with me, then you can come and craft with me. I think I let my friends know about that. Some of them do like to come around and craft. They bring their projects and I do mine, and sometimes we give each other ideas and inspiration, so it's great fun. Maybe at the same time, while we're at it, I could doodle. So because it's a different lined paper, I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna go all out and embrace that by doodling over it, making a clear cut that, yes, it's very different, and that's fine. Also gives me a clear idea where I can journal in this circle. And I might make it a double line. So as you can see, I'm purposely not doing it straight. I kind of make wobbly, shaky lines because it looks more intentional, it looks more handwritten. And I can even make a little bow and even add some more leaves. I really like the mix of actually craft and paints and doodles. I just love those together. And I can even add some here if I want. So again, I'm adding my personal touch to this page. And that's probably something enjoyable that we can go back to and say, hey, I drew that. I had a part in making this page beautiful. Of course, it's beautiful as is. It's a wonderful artist, whoever painted this one. Better than I could have done. But I also love adding my little touch to it. So I covered this quote because it's repeated here. Do what you love what you do. Do it yourself. So I don't really need that here, so I could even use a little piece of paper like that. I try to see what colors I have on the rest of the page. If I could find something pink, I would be happy. Gonna look through my stickers. I'm going to measure what I need. So something you can do, cover part of it, and the other part, if you have a sticker, that would fit. So again, I want to match these colors. I have some stickers with some pinky objects. Could always do something like that. And using this, or here's the green. That could be an idea. I love it because it's the same green. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this like a little flag. And I could choose this quote or this quote. Maybe this one. So there's always a way. That's what I say about crafting. Actually, this was a sticker. Oh well. I will just glue it down and take the sticker. And I'll keep this here because there's still lots of space to journal around. Maybe I'll find something to glue here. So I don't have enough of the pink. I could use maybe a black or brown. Or I also like taking other types of paper as I did here. And I might use this square paper. That way it's not too dark with brown or black. So I'm just going to quickly measure. Okay, here, and it would be here. And I might rip it. So in that case, I'm going to measure it a bit bigger. And I'll rip the bottom part, the bottom edge. Again, looking at my stickers, I could take something pink. And now a little doodle time. I like to highlight this paper. Again, embrace the difference. And I'm going to take the little bow again idea. I think that's all I need. I don't need much more on this page. So sometimes, as you can see, it can be very simple. You don't have to add too much because your text will do it all for you. All right, let's do another one. Okay, this is beautiful, I think, in itself. There's lots of little spots to journal, so I might just keep that. If you wanted to, you could always doodle some little lines. So I'm going maybe to do that because that way I have different areas to journal. That way it's not too overwhelming. I prefer journaling when my pages are a little bit smaller. I think that's what makes crafting so wonderful because they're not too overwhelming. I can journal little bits here and there, little sessions at a time when I have a few minutes here and there. So maybe taking from this, I will take that same idea, add a little box here. So you don't have to. Some pages don't need to be altered at all. I'm just having fun here. This one I might make plain, and I think that's it for this page. All right, the next page. Some can be more challenging, but to me they're the most fun. Here's some text. These are quotes, which is great. I can add to them, even on the pictures. I can write here, plenty of space to write. So I would just need to cover this little portion. So again, I'm going to try to see what colors are already here. I don't like taking colors that clash. So I do have this blue, and it's quite similar. I could bring it here, or I could simply take a piece of lined paper. Just look at the size. And I'm going to go for the ripped look. I do like the 2 right there, but I'm gonna have to choose. Or I keep the 2 and I just make it smaller. Something like that. Here's a little bit of green sticking out. There's plenty of pink, so I might use these little edges here for a little piece of tape. I don't have washi tape with me right now, even though I know that's in any crafter's toolkit. I'm also trying to limit the materials I use. All I'm using for this project is papers, my scrap papers, and stickers, and that's it. And my pen for doodles. I'm trying to limit it to that, otherwise it gets too overwhelming. Maybe I'll bring in this here, and I'll bring another one down here. So lots more fun spaces to journal. And since this is on sticky paper, I will just stick it down like that. Anything to doodle here? Maybe just some lines on this paper, and that's it. Very simple, since this page already has a lot going on. If I want to take the doodle idea, I could always doodle a little circle, just to show that it's, again, the hand look. All right, I will do some leaves. I'm missing a little nature in some pages, so I will add a few. There we go. Let's turn the next page. This is another beautiful place to journal in here. Not so much here, but I could, if I wanted to, do like a little maze type of writing. And I'm going to cover this part. I'm going to open it up as a spread, just so I see what colors I have to work with. This doesn't go too well together. Black could be okay, since there's a little black here. I don't mind working with black here and there, because I have a white pen to write with. And this makes for great contrast. So I'm just going to measure approximately where I need to cut. And let's see if I have some sticker pieces. Back to pink. Let's get the pink again. I'm going to end up using all these edges, I think. But that's a wonderful way to use up your sticker papers. All right, so I'll do that. And this here, I have an extra little scrap here. I could just use that. Doesn't really match, but at least that way I can write my own little title. Not sure if I want the scissors here. It doesn't mean much to me on this page. So I'm going to take the lined paper and just add a piece there. That way it also gives me a reason to have the lined paper here. I like when I can bring it in a few places on my page and an extra spot to journal. Let's do some doodling. This time I'm going to make it totally straight. And here too. And here I'm going to make it a bit unperfect and wiggly. So we have both. We have the straight lines here and the wiggly lines here. So crafting, collaging is really listening to what your heart wants in the moment. And I'm going to kind of play around with these patterns here, maybe take them here. So it's kind of a mix of twirls and leaves. Kind of playing on that. And there we have our next page done. So from this, we now have this. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope that this was enjoyable for you. And I do look forward to continuing with this project. If you want to come and join me for more of these pages, then you can keep an eye out on my YouTube channel from time to time. Pay me a visit there, because I feel there's so many benefits to taking a little time off for some creative project like this, whether it's something you do on your own or with a family member or with a friend. Those can be such delightful moments to cherish and remember. And you'll have your journal to go back to and to thank you for that time that you're taking for yourself. So that's what we're all about here in the Art of Well-Being, giving yourself a little treat that adds a spark and a joy to your life. And just before I end this video, I wanted to show you my brand new latest journal in case it's something that you would enjoy and would like to treat yourself to. So you can find it in soft cover or hard cover. Just go check out my site. As you know, I'm all for encouraging you to journal and to take time to check in about things, ask yourself questions, and that's what this altered book is for in the first place. Anyway, I'll see you very soon in another video where we can do some more altering pages to our book.